Hello, Gracie here, and on this video, I will try and convince you to publish fiction, specifically short stories. I would highly recommend that you publish fiction books. Some would actually frown at this idea since it's true that not everyone can write fiction. But if you want to make money fast, then fiction is the way to go. And don't worry, you don't have to be a professional writer to pull this off. You'll see why in the next few minutes. I must admit, I know people who are doing great with nonfiction books, but if you are just starting, I would highly recommend publishing short stories. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience. When I started, I was publishing nonfiction books, but, and that's a big but, it was not until I started publishing short stories that I reached high four figures per month. They worked wonders for me, and I know they will for you too. So let's get started. Step 1. Choose a best-selling genre. Sure, you can create a book with a good story plot and a stunning cover, but if no one buys in that genre, then you know what happens next. Zero sales. So which genre sells? Romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, YA romance. Think of the Twilight Saga. Vampires and werewolves were a big hit. You might want to consider witch, dragons, and ghost love stories too. And here's another secret. Well, it's not really a secret anymore. Erotica. It sells really well. The readers' base for erotica is surprisingly huge. If you are targeting male readers, then short wham bam thank you ma'am stories are perfect. Female readers tend to love stories with a good plot that ends with a happily ever after or happy for now. Step 2. Create good quality content. I hear you. You can't write fiction. Who said I can? There are two ways of creating best-selling fiction books. Do it yourself or outsource it. At this point, decide whether you will write your own stories or get someone to write them for you. If you are a half-decent writer, by that I mean you can write a few thousand words about something interesting, then by all means, write. If you have money to spare and you don't need much, then I highly recommend outsourcing. Outsourcing the work will greatly reduce the time and energy investment on your part, which is an excellent option if you are too busy with your day job. This also helps if you are like me, who is not exactly blessed with the ability to write up page after page of almost perfect content. If you've decided to outsource, then I recommend using freelance websites such as odesk.com, freelancer.com, and elance.com. The cheapest so far is Odesk. Most of my short stories are 5,000 words, and I usually pay my outsourcer anywhere from $20 to $30 for a book. I would recommend hiring 2 to 3 writers to start with, then stick with the best one. Now, aside from hiring writers to write your book, here's a secret if you want to get a book published really fast. Do you know that there are lots of writers out there who have written complete books but don't know what to do with them? Neither have they heard about publishing on Kindle. What happens if you offer to buy their books? Most of them won't even think twice about selling them to you. Here's a tip. Post an ad on Craigslist or other well-known online classified ads websites. You'll be surprised at how many replies you will receive. You can also go to fictionpress.com and have a look around. Look for stories that match the genre you have chosen and contact authors and ask them if they are willing to sell the copyright of their stories to you. The quality of the stories are usually high and are longer, like 20,000 words, so you might need a bigger budget for this. I usually pay $200 to $250 per book. Lastly, you can also hire local writers. Look for high school or college students who love to write in your area. They won't usually charge you much, plus their creativity is unbelievable. Step 3. Create professional-looking cover for cheap. Content may be king, but it helps if you have an attention-grabbing book cover along with a title that quickly, effectively, and smartly tells readers what your book is all about. The secret to getting a professional-looking cover for cheap is to go to Fiverr.com. For $5, you can get yourself a nice-looking book cover. And of course, you can always create your own. Go to Fotolia or 123RF to get cheap images you can use. Other stock photo sites are more expensive, so I highly recommend these two websites. If you ask me, I create my own covers and spend only $2 per piece. If you stick around, I'll show you how I create them in the next few days. Step 4. Format your book ready for Kindle. I'm not sure why people say that formatting for Kindle is very complicated. I published a number of books and none of them were marked down by readers because of formatting issues. I've created a video that will show you how to format your books ready for publishing. You can watch it later if you want. I've also provided a template that's formatted for Kindle, ready for you to use. Hope it makes things easier for you. Just keep it simple. Forget about having a header, a footer, or page numbers. They won't show up on the Kindle device anyway. Step 5. Upload your book. Now it's time to get your book out there. The first step is to go to https://kdp.amazon.com and sign up for an account. Easy peasy. If you already have one, then go ahead and sign in. Now let's proceed to publishing your first book. Once you're in your KDP account, simply click Add New Title to begin the process of adding a new book. I always click on Enroll this book in KDP Select, so I would recommend you do the same. KDP Select allows you to offer your books for free on the Kindle store for 5 days. This gives your book a lot of exposure. Plus, if your book is enrolled in KDP Select, you get paid for every borrow your book gets. In my experience, each borrow is usually $2. Now it's time for you to fill out all your book details. Let's take a look at them one by one. Book name. Enter the title of your book. For fiction books, I usually write the book title first, followed by a keyword or the genre you are targeting, or a few words that would entice customers to buy. A good example is the book Priceless by Shannon Mayer. The title doesn't always say priceless, but it also has the subtitle, A Sexy Urban Fantasy Mystery, next to it, telling you that this is a fantasy book without you reading the description first. Description. Make sure you create a description that will appeal to your target audience. Treat your description as your sales page, so create a copy that sells. Contributors. You can use a pen name or your real name. All my books are published under a pen name, and I have a different pen name for each genre or subgenre I am publishing on. For example, I have a different pen name for romantic fantasy books, and I have another one for romantic erotica. Publishing rights. Of course, tick, this is not a public domain work. Though this is mostly an issue with nonfiction books, I would like to mention here as well, never publish PLR books on Kindle. You'll get your account closed in no time. Categories and keywords. Go ahead and choose the most appropriate category for your book. With the keywords, Amazon allows you up to 7 keywords per book, so think of the best keywords that suit your book. I usually have both general and specific keywords per book. For example, fantasy, vampire, werewolf, young adult, romance, etc. Next, upload your book cover and your book file. Pricing. I usually price my short stories anywhere from 99 cents to $2.99. However, if I am scheduling a free promotion, I would price it first at $4.99 to $8.97. Why? Because once it goes free, Amazon tells buyers that they are saving $4.99 or $8.97 if they get the book now for free. It's just a marketing technique, really. Don't forget to change the price back to 99 cents or $2.99 before the promotion ends. Just my 2 cents on pricing. When you're done filling out all your book details, then hit submit. Your book will be live on Amazon within 24 to 48 hours. Congratulations! You've published your first book. Step 6. Keep publishing more books. The more books you have out there, the better chances you have of making more money. Don't get discouraged if your first book doesn't sell well. Keep writing or publishing books. You never know which will sell, and make it on the best-selling list. Step 7. Publish a collection. If you ask me what the secret to my Kindle publishing success is, this is it. Collection books do well on Amazon, and this is also one of the main reasons why I always choose to publish books on the same genre. So if my first book is on lesbian romance, hint hint, then my next 3 to 5 books would be on the same genre. When you have 3 or more books on the same category or genre, compile them into a single book and publish it as a collection for a more enticing price. In your description, make sure the customer knows that he is getting more than his money's worth. Write something like 5 stories for the price of 1, or something similar. Publishing collection books is a win-win situation. Both you and the buyer win. And there you have it. Those are my secret ingredients to success. As a final note, you have to realize that writing books is a continuous process where you find yourself with a hit book one day and a total flop the next. Capitalize on your strengths, overcome your weaknesses, and keep churning those books out there like there's no tomorrow. That's a surefire way you can truly succeed as a Kindle Direct publishing author. I have more tips and surprises for you, so stay tuned. Oh, by the way, you might be interested in publishing nonfiction too. The next video will show you how.